Worked up. What's up, y'all? I was already worked up. I started worked up.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Shep's, yes.
Okay.
Shep's like, oh, my vagina hurts. And
Hello?
here,
I can't really hear
I
myself.
also can't really hear you. Hold on.
Did it get turned down?
Speak.
Hello? Yeah, that's better.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know, maybe you needed to... I wanted you to touch
It is louder, though. Like, it just got louder.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It needed to wake up a little bit.
All right.
All right, we're good.
Okay. So Shep was being...
I just wanted to,
a
for
bitch,
the
and
second...
he was like, "Oh, my hip," and he's like, "I can't drive."
For the
so we're gonna
second...
Zoom. So I was like, "You're dumb."
For the second episode of
Worked up.
Work
Well,
Up
no.
presented by
This is still.
Racing.
This is episode 80. We're just changing. It's a brand change. That's all. We're slowly transferring it over to Worked Up. Talk about working up.
Woo!
He's been waiting for that.
So yeah, I just wanted to... It was all a prank. No, I'm kidding. That's not true. I almost couldn't get off the toilet. So if you want to say my not poggers is my hip doesn't work.
Rough start to the day.
Yeah, and I almost couldn't get off the toilet, and then I couldn't walk, but then I kind of sat down and relaxed a little bit, and I was able to make it in. Because I love Tom, and I love seeing him, and it makes my world better. Yo, it's your boy Smooth.
That was really gross, dude. Anyway. Welcome back.
Spicy.
It's not really. We had some pretty good racing this past weekend.
That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, I have to cut that out. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Hey, fuck! You stupid man. I hate you.
Oh.
Decent racing. Horrible
Was
boxing.
that a NASCAR race?
Yes, but it was all-star race, so it didn't count towards points, so we didn't choose cars.
Oh, okay.
And it led us. We had the Detroit GP as well for IMSA. I don't actually know what they call it. So this week we're going into the beginning of a triple header for Formula One. Have a couple Formula One races in a row, which is cool. We had a scary moment with Felix Rosenqvist in IndyCar. His throttle was stuck open in the middle of a turn, so he just drove straight into a wall.
Oh God.
It looked pretty nasty, but he was moving. He was okay. You remember Roman, who was on fire last year?
Yeah.
His car was on fire again. He got out.
Jesus.
Went to get a fire extinguisher to spray it out, and they're like, "Dude, get away from the car." And he's like, "No, let me fight the fire." It was pretty wild.
That's funny.
Good for him for not being scared of it, though.
Yeah.
I
I mean, at this point, right? Like, that's
right.
2 in the last...
Yeah, it wasn't nearly as bad as that one. It was just like a brake fire, but
it's okay.
Still.
He's
it's
the one
close
with
enough
the
to
heat, dude.
fuel, so... The NASCAR All-Star race kind of, to me, was ass because it didn't, like, the rules were not beneficial to anybody. Like,
So All-Star race. So they just what? I don't understand.
so the All-Star, they raced for $1 million.
Oh, okay.
And the only point of it is for that $1 million because there's no points involved. It's
Why
it's not
do
like,
they do that in the middle of the season?
because everybody does their All-Star stuff in the middle of the season. Literally every sport does, besides football.
Okay. That's the only sport I follow, so I'm kind of like...
But like baseball's in the middle of the season.
Oh, okay.
Soccer doesn't have one, I don't think. They have just like their national events.
Right. Okay.
Basketball does in the middle of the season. Ish. So, yeah, that's why they just do it randomly.
Yeah, okay.
And it gives them a break from, like, if they lose, they're not like, shit, I'm still 25 points out.
I mean, you have to be competitive, but you don't have to... It's not like...
It's not destroying your season if you don't do well here.
Yeah.
But it was just ass because it was like, you have 4 rounds to get your average starting position, and then... Or your average finishing position, and then your average finishing position is where you're starting. And it was just stupid, and they inverted it like 7 times, and it didn't make sense. I didn't like it, and they can't pass on that track. It'd probably be better if they could pass, where the guy who won the first 20 laps started in the back, but was able to pass back up to like 10th, but he couldn't. He stayed in 15th or less. It was stupid, dumb, hated it. On to bigger and better things, like boxing.
Oh God, who boxed?
It was TikTokers versus YouTubers,
I didn't know
and
if you were gonna bring
TikTokers
that
got their ass railed.
Yeah, because they're pussies.
Railed.
They are pussies. TikTok was smart. Did you hear that the fight almost didn't happen? TikTok was trying to get like a cease and desist out.
Why?
Because they didn't agree to have their name used as promotion.
Oh.
Which is why the fight is like Battle of the Platforms or something.
Oh.
It doesn't actually like
say YouTube versus which, because I couldn't. Well, I'm sure YouTube, which is to me,
YouTube probably didn't give a fuck because it's like more attention to them.
yeah.
But I heard Deji got worked.
I didn't think Deji wanted to fight. I didn't think Deji was fighting.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
I did see that. Never mind. He was like the only YouTuber that actually lost.
Yeah.
Because I saw like Gibb versus Taylor Holder.
Yeah, dude, that's not even fucking okay. So
here's the thing though, because I didn't watch it. I'm sure Holder probably looked better with the fight.
Was it on Triller?
I don't fucking know. Because he's a much better. Like, he's been boxing for a lot longer, so his technique and stuff was probably better in that aspect. But he threw less punches, because he threw less punches, everyone's like Gibb won.
This is where I say
I didn't see it, so I don't really give a shit.
This is where I start saying, okay, worked up time. This needs to end because this isn't going anywhere good. Okay? Fucking if I have to give credit where credit's due, Logan Paul at least held his own against Floyd Mayweather for whatever reason. You know, there's a guy I watch on YouTube that's saying that Logan was on a little PEDs, maybe.
Okay, I mean, whatever.
Which, sure, again, who isn't nowadays? Yeah. But so, and that's like a legitimate event. Showtime put it on. There was 450 fucking camera angles. It was well organized.
They had a full card, like a good.
Yeah, it was
a
well organized.
And
the people that were fighting
fought.
The people that were fighting weren't professional boxers. The only professional boxer there was
Floyd.
Okay, so that's okay. This seemed like a glorified fight in the playground that Triller put on. I'm going to say Triller because I think it was Triller. And they had like 2 camera angles the whole fucking time. There was no organization. It was like the last Jake Paul fight.
He owns Triller, right?
Who?
Jake Paul. That's his media company, I thought.
No.
Huh.
Josh Richards is like VP of it.
Oh, is it his shit? Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, and like Bryce Hall's involved in it. Like all the TikTok kids are involved in it, which is why I think it was.
Oh, I got you.
I don't know that for a fact, but it was like like when Jake Paul fought on Triller against Benny Ben. It was like the commentators were stupid.
Yeah.
It was just a joke. And this was the same thing. I watched all of the minute that the Bryce Hall fight came on because I can't stand the fucking kid.
It's hilarious how much shit he talked just to get railed.
They looked like shit.
Yeah.
Like they both didn't look good, but Bryce looked like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like he flat out went out there and tried to fight like he was 16 and he was getting bullied in high school.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looked like. And I hate when they do this like buddy shit afterwards. He's like, "Oh, mad respect, man." Fuck off. There was like you hated each other before, and now all of a sudden you're boys because he just beat the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Like where?
Yeah, you're not gonna shit talk anyone.
It's either fake in the beginning.
I think it's always been fake.
Or it's just stupid by the time it's over because now you think like, "Oh, I lost, so I'm gonna try to get some semblance of my pride back by just admitting that, hey, you did good." And
yeah.
Like, come on, dude. It was such
That's why you don't go into things as cocky as they do.
He was like, when they called it, I saw him and he was like looking over like, what? Like, what do you mean what? Every time he hit you, you went to the ground.
Right.
Like, you couldn't, the ref's not going to stand there and just let you die.
Yeah.
That's not, and that's why I say like this shit has to stop. He should not step foot in a boxing ring.
No,
He shouldn't.
none of them should have.
Not unless, like, not at that level.
Yeah.
Train more. Get better at the sport before you do that. You're going to get hurt doing that. And I know, like, the boxing commission has talked about it. And, like, they're on one hand, they're happy that the Paul brothers are bringing attention back to the sport. And they're helping out promoters. But on the other hand, people are going to get hurt.
People think they can just hop in a ring and box. No.
Yeah. Like, yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, the Paul brothers, okay, they can do it.
For the most part. Until they get like real opponents that are there to actually beat the shit out of them.
But this whole YouTube, TikTok, like, people just need to stop fighting. Unless it's a professional bout.
Because we also had the Aaron Carter Lamar Odom fight.
Oh my God.
Don't get me wrong, Lamar didn't look good either, but Aaron looked just like someone who was on crack coming at a guy who didn't sell him enough crack.
Well, they probably both did it in a strip club before they went there.
Probably. And,
I don't know if will people get that joke?
No, they won't.
Okay.
Well, they might. Maybe. I don't know.
Lamar Odom, almost OD'd in a strip club?
Yeah.
Off of drugs?
Yeah.
That was the joke.
It's
Not
really
to say
something
that
to joke about, but
it's a joke, but
yeah.
I'm just going to dig myself into a hole there.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
It's fine. You do it every day. Aaron, he just looked like he was high.
Yeah.
And like,
he was
swinging. He was just like frantically swinging his arms. Mind you, why would you have someone who's 7 foot or 6'10" fight a guy who is 5'10"?
Yeah, and that doesn't.
Well, this man was like, he was like like when a 4-year-old's trying to fight a 14-year-old. That's what it looked like.
Give me back my toy.
Yes. Yeah.
I just don't understand.
So stupid.
It's when you look at a boxing match, like, every once in a while you'll get a hug or whatever, but if every 5 seconds the other guy's trying to hug the other dude because they're just getting worked, the fight needs to stop.
Yeah.
It just needs to be over.
Agreed. It was stupid.
On the flip side of it, UFC still making moves. Did you see? I don't remember the name, but somebody came out, did their debut, and it was like 7 seconds. Boom, done.
Yeah. Talented man. See, okay, we talked about the whole when Bryce was like, "Oh, mad respect, whatever." In UFC, there was the guy who lost the featherweight. I think it's featherweight. I'm pretty sure I read a thing where they've been friends forever or whatever.
Yeah.
And like there was never really ever beef.
Yeah.
He went over, and when he beat him and he took the featherweight away, the guy raised him up and was like, "Fuck yeah, this is awesome. This guy deserves it."
I rather see that. I know they like saying drama puts asses in seats, which I guess it does, but it's also, I think, being overdone at this point.
Right.
Where like now every fight somebody hates somebody, and then at the end they're all buddy, and it's like, okay, for the first 10 years of the sport,
like that.
Yeah, for the first 10 years of the sport, it was like whatever. But now it's like, if you're gonna hate, I want somebody. What I actually want is I want somebody to hate somebody, and then after the fight, even after they kill him, I want them to still hate him. Like that's what I want. If you're gonna hate somebody,
the only real one is like Rousey and all of those that like 5 posse of like their elite female fighters.
Yeah.
All of them hate each other no matter what. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't matter what happens, they hate each other. McGregor and Dustin, I think they're kind of on that. McGregor and Nate Diaz are on that level of like.
Well, I think him and Khabib are too.
No, I think they've gotten better.
Really?
Because I think McGregor, well, in a sense.
I mean, he shit talked his dad dying, so I don't know if that, like, there's probably some
that's true.
beef there.
He did do that, but he's also like he's said nice things about him as well. So I don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's okay to hate somebody, but still understand, like, at the end of the day, like, like, I hate Logan Paul. Yeah, okay. He didn't do bad, whether it was staged or not, or whatever the fuck you want to say.
From perception, he did not do bad.
Right. So, I mean, you could obviously go into the nuances.
Still,
but,
it was stupid.
This is why I say this is. I almost want to say, like, when you're going to compare the two sports of you're going to compare combat sports, boxing is turning into such a joke that the UFC needs to double down on the serious end of it.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna get people like us who want to see fighting, don't want to deal with all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, kids are gonna watch these fights. 15, 16-year-olds are gonna be like, Ooh, boxing. Oh my God, that guy I see on YouTube and TikTok, he boxing. Ooh, they're gonna watch that. I don't want to see that because that's a fucking joke.
I want to see someone beat the shit out of
Yeah,
someone.
I want to go. So I'll go over to the UFC then because UFC like
Which they had a broken arm in the fight.
like
I didn't.
Dana White needs to not give in. I know they
He
keep
won't.
pressuring. They keep
He
pressuring him
won't.
like, hey, give me somebody to fight. Give me somebody to fight. He needs to not give in. He needs to keep all of his fighters on a leash. He needs to keep them all away from the bullshit.
Did you see
Fucking Diaz came back
Israel
and fought?
No. Well, I mean that man's a savage, but Israel. I can't think of his last name.
Yeah.
It's like Udaman or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. He like there was like 20 seconds left, and this guy he's fighting was like his last ditch effort, but he was so dogged
Yeah.
that he was just like punching him in the hip, and the guy's like, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he got up and he was like, stop. Just stop at that point. I've already demolished you. You
Yeah.
can't beat me. Next. That's UFC.
Yeah. That was funny.
Like the cockiness is real.
Yeah. Like I
And they
don't
can
like
back it up.
I don't like fucking Diaz, either of them, Nick or Nate, because they're both very full of themselves.
Yeah.
But I have to admit,
The dude can take
they are lethal.
Beating.
They are lethal because they're not bad fighters, but they just don't stop.
No, right.
They will fight themselves into pure stupidity.
Oh,
Like
if not death.
Yeah, like they will not. They will
Uh,
not. Like
He's
yeah.
a wild. Every fight that man is red in the face, and not because he's like tired.
No.
No, it's blood.
Yeah.
He's red.
And he don't care. Like it's so. I mean, they throw themselves at. That's the shit I want to see.
A warrior.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's good. Did you see? Did you see the shit that happened in soccer?
With Erickson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
The fuck?
It was what's his first name? Oh my god, he was on my team. What?
Doesn't start with a D.
Now I'm upset. Now I'm pissed off.
Mad respect.
No,
to that whole situation.
But it goes into this like you have no idea what you actually have wrong with you until it actually hits you.
Oh yeah,
Or, not hits you, but
well, by definition, he should be the pinnacle of health, right? If he's a soccer player,
they don't say
athlete, he watches
Christian Erickson.
he watches what he eats. He watches
Right.
like he works out, obviously. So like you should
It's Christian Erickson.
but shit happens, man.
Yeah, and
Like-
I think if I saw it right, he got hit with a ball, right?
Maybe.
And it stopped his heart. And he's on the ground and he had died.
Yep.
And they resuscitated him on the field, and they were playing it over and over again, which is kind of shitty. And they played his wife on TV, which is also shitty. Like, so you see, hers like, what's going on with my husband?
Yeah, okay, so
that's
there's
super
a few
hot garbage.
There's a few things about this. Number one, anybody doing like media coverage of a situation like that, get the fucking camera off the guy.
Yeah,
Like, so if the team has to stand around the dude to body block the camera, fuck off.
yeah, that's pretty shitty.
Like you clearly know that something's not right. Okay, it's different in like I want to say like I don't know. It's different in other sports where like if the dude's on the ground and they're like ow ow like he's conscious and he's like fuck my leg.
But they did that for Ryan Shazier when he was paralyzed.
Yeah, see that was fucked up too.
They pulled it off.
Oh.
Once they realized they pulled it off. So, he got the hit and then he was done, on the ground,
Yeah.
paralyzed, not knowing what's going on. So they're like, is he going to get up? Oh shit.
Yeah, and then okay.
Where these guys were just like, he's not looking good. He's not looking good.
Yeah, and then you go on the wife. Keep the
Yeah, no. Don't do that.
Fuck,
You don't do that.
How would you feel if you're like, the person that I really care about just flopped on the fucking ground and you're like, what the fuck do I do?
Right, and then you have four cameras in your face.
Yeah, and then you got a camera in your face. Like,
All right, so on the other end of this, because I went on Twitter shortly after it happened to get people's reactions, and everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, but a lot of people who are in like the media industry are like, what a disgrace, this is terrible, you shouldn't use this for clout, whatever, when in reality they're also using their take for clout.
Hold on. Who's using what for clout?
The footage just to get views.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
in my opinion, they're them going like in a certain way. I'm not saying everybody, but in a certain way, they're like the ones that are standing up against it.
Yeah,
But they're also
but it's getting them attention too.
right, and
Yeah.
and the one in particular I saw is also the same person who. He's that's all he does is. When Grosjean got in that really bad accident, like he didn't say anything because he's. Whatever, it's the car was on fire, and then after like a day later, he goes, it was quite horrible what they did at the race. They kept playing it over and over again. Feel bad because other people had already started saying it, so he went on and said it, even though he didn't say a thing until then.
Yeah.
So it sucks on both ends.
How about we try a simple concept? Respect the man and his family, please. Like
all you got to do is
I know it's hard
prayers for or whatever,
yeah, and I
and
know
then
it's
move
hard,
on.
I know it's hard to kind of understand really even what's going on in the situation because that's such a fluke thing to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not often where people go down on a field or a court for like an internal serious like life or death situation. But every sport has its risk. You could kick a ball. People have gotten concussions headbutting balls in soccer. Mm-hmm. Like that. So, that some of those balls are getting kicked and if he gets hit right in the right spot, that'll do it. Mm-hmm. So you just have to, the thing that I saw that I really wanted to bring up about it is the captain for the one team. So
The other team.
yeah,
It was Denmark versus Finland. It was Finland. The other team was Finland.
so who was blocking him?
Who was blocking him?
Yeah, what team was blocking him?
Denmark.
Okay, so the captain for that team told those guys, "Hey, block him off." Like, you block him off. Yeah, he said you block him off, and then he got the medics and shit in there because he was saying that if that's going to be his final moments, he wants them private.
Yeah.
On the field, and he doesn't want all the cameras and shit on. That is, if you want to talk about in sports, a team captain. That man.
He could give a really cool thing.
He could give 3 fucks about being, the captain, being the one out. Like,
no, he cared for that man's life.
Yeah, he was like, we need to shield this off and say, look, if this is going to be it, then he needs to have his privacy and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Captain. Okay. We need more people like that.
And
less people like... Should we leave it hanging and have him guess it? LeBron James. Fuck you.
I think we all knew who that was going to be.
So that's my... It all comes back to LeBron James, baby. That's my thing, though, right?
They did a cool thing too. So that after they restarted the game, Finland went off and ended up scoring, but they didn't celebrate. They kicked the ball in and they went back into the center field and kicked and they started off again, whatever.
What's your take on them even finishing that game? I've heard multiple.
So
from what I understand, the team went back with him, and he said, "Don't play this game." Like he told them when he went back in the locker room. Finish this game.
I think had he not made it, it'd be a different story. But I think they probably just were like, nah, we got to do what we have to do.
But how much of what happened affected how they played? Because they lost. They ended up losing.
I'm sure it affected them greatly.
That's the thing, right? Like, so do you...
But the show goes on.
Right,
Unfortunately. Like, but what are they supposed to just postpone it for 2 months?
Right. No, I get you. It's one of those things where, like,
it's a very shitty situation.
Is it a true showing of that team's capability to be where they were?
But
probably not.
But if you put it into perspective, if any team has an injury in the middle of a game,
right? There's diversity in sports. Like you have to, you can't always have the perfect situation.
Right. There's injuries will and do always happen.
Yeah.
It's not that particular one is a fluke, yes, but.
Well, it happens. Like it happened.
Their team still has to be good with or without him.
It's happened with me throughout the years. I mean, I had a guy, when I played football at U of R who planted his arm in the ground, like during a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's a linebacker, and a guy came in and hit him in the back of the elbow, and it sent his elbow back the other way.
Yeah.
Like it went backwards.
Right.
And he was rolling, like blood curdling scream on the ground, and we're just kind of like, fuck, like we got to play.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's a total mind fuck.
Yeah, and that, you know, that injury that you had, you remember that shit?
Yeah.
We had to play through that. I don't know how hard it was for other people, but that was not easy for me to go through because I was on the line when that happened. So, not that I was responsible. I definitely wasn't.
We know who responsible.
But I was also like, you know, that was my line. So I felt kind of like, all right, like they fucked up and my boy fucked his leg up pretty nasty. So I'm like, you know, it's a tough thing to come back from watching that and then having to play through it, you know? So respect to them even doing it and holding the game to a 1-0, I think it was. I don't think it was a blowout.
No, it was 1-0. That's how they finished.
So
I mean that it's 1000% a super difficult thing to have to come back from. But unless he had passed away, I don't think it would have changed. Nothing would have been different.
what do you think they would have done if he did pass away?
They would have canceled. They would have forfeited. Like both teams probably would have forfeited the Euro.
You never know.
That's what probably should have happened.
Yeah,
They would both forfeit. They'd move on. Like the rest of the teams would probably continue playing.
yeah,
But they'd play like with like his initials on the sleeves or whatever.
yeah.
You know.
You should not play a game on that if that happened. But we've seen. I feel like we've talked about that with like races, haven't we?
People have died in races and they continue.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously it depends on the time period. Like nowadays, no, that would never happen.
Right.
But early 90s or you know, actually if you go you can go all the way back to like the 50s all the way up to like 2005 to 2012-ish era.
Yeah.
You know, people were less sensitive. People were, we got to push on. The show must go on. Now it's like, most of our audience is pretty sensitive to these types of things. Let's cancel this event and we'll move on to the next
situations like that, it should be.
See, but like, okay, actually this, for racing, it hasn't changed. Because 3 years ago we had, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. 2 or 3 years ago we had Anton I don't know how to say his name. He's French. He died at Spa.
Yeah.
In a really bad accident. I think they finished. I don't think they finished that race. I don't know for sure on that. I don't remember. But they still raced like that the rest of that weekend.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, this is for Antoine, you know.
Yeah.
Did their memorial service and stuff. So I think it's tough when it comes to
like a weekend tournament. Is that what you're getting at?
No, I think it's tough when it comes to like a less of an individual sport than.
Yeah.
As much as racing can be a team sport, it's still a very individualistic.
Yeah.
Portion of it, like you rely mostly on the driver.
Yeah.
As well as obviously like the setup, but the driver has to drive the car. So if you don't have a setup, the driver still is driving.
Yeah.
If you have a setup and the driver sucks, the car sucks.
Right.
You know, it's. Where I think the team would have the common sense to be like, no, we're out. I don't know. Obviously every situation is going to be different. How they died, what kind of event is happening, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, I know there's some instances where, like, say it was in the middle of, you know, like the World Cup or something. You know, what do you do for? You wait a day.
All right. You know what? In the comments, let us know what you think would happen. What you think should happen in a case like Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, I think the way they handled it was good. I know some people. Oh fuck! I just hit myself. I know some people are like, no, because they wouldn't have lost if they didn't. Blah blah blah. And
See, but like, again, that's like with every injury. Like you can't say.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you're a good team,
Anthony Davis just broke his leg. We gotta wait for 5 days.
being a good team is overcoming diversity. People that say the refs lost me that game. No.
Well, okay. There's certain times when the refs do actually lose you the game.
Right, but I mean, there's
You shouldn't have been put in a position where the refs could have lost you the game.
Yeah, if you were doing better,
Yeah.
overall,
Agreed.
then you wouldn't have even been in that situation. Don't get me wrong. We've definitely seen shit refs on the professional level as of recently too.
Right, like with the Rams Saints thing when it was very clearly pass interference and they didn't call it.
Yeah. So I mean, so don't get me wrong. That at the higher levels, yes, for sure. But then it's like, oh, this lost me. It's like this. No. You got to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Period. So, but anyway, that's enough on that one. You got a movie?
I do. Not a fan. It's gonna be A Quiet Place 2.
Oh, you see it?
I did. You know, I didn't watch Quiet Place 1. It's weird without headphones. I don't like it.
See, told you.
I didn't watch Quiet Place 1, but I knew the gist of it. Like, weird alien looking creatures were coming up and they're like, I'm gonna kill all of you if you make a noise. Right. And I won't go into too many details so we spoil it. However, it was filmed 20 minutes from us. So that's pretty cool. It was filmed in Akron.
Yeah.
By John Krasinski, which is pretty dope because he's a good looking fella.
Definitely better with a beard.
Oh yeah. He's like Jack Ryan. John Krasinski is way better than Jim Halpert.
Yeah.
John Krasinski.
Yeah.
But the ending was just like build up, blah.
It's technically a horror movie, right?
Thriller, I think.
Thriller?
Yeah. I don't know. It's like a 6, 5.9, 6. But I don't like those types of movies, so that also hinders it.
Yeah. Well, me and barring the weather is okay. Me and the GF are thinking about going to the drive-in, and I'm sure that's going to be one of the.
It was when we went. It was A Quiet Place and Top Gun, the old one, not the new one.
Yeah,
because that one's not out for another month.
We need the new one.
I'm
curious.
Better be good.
Kind of pumped for that. Yeah,
my kid's named after Top Gun, so
yeah, it better
not
be
not true. Sorry, Tay. Jesus Christ.
It better. That one's good. What is the other one that I'm like waiting for that I hope is really good?
There's a few.
Okay, kind of really hoping that the new Thor movies.
I'm just over Marvel.
Yeah, but
I'm burnt out of Marvel. I can't even finish my favorite Marvel movies anymore.
I want the weird shit. Give me Morbius.
That is true. I want
Give
Morbius.
Me Blade.
I want
I want Blade.
What's the one?
Give me fucking
Immortals. I want Immortals.
Is
that what it's called?
Yeah.
Eternal. No, Immortals.
Give me Carnage.
With Kit.
Hopefully that's not ass.
Carnage?
Yeah.
That trailer did not do it.
I feel like they were trying to be too goofy, and I was like, no, don't do this.
So I've actually started watching a show called Shadow and Bone.
Okay.
Or Shadow and Bones or something like that. It was
Shadow My Bone.
I should have known. It was kind of cool. It's like right up my alley with like that 19th century. No, sorry, 20th century, the early 1900s era, like Sherlock Holmes era type.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
But it like with magic. So it's like it does both things that I love to watch.
Yeah.
And it does it together. So like the first 2 episodes are like, I have no idea what the fuck is happening. I'm so lost. I'm about to not watch this anymore. And then it hooked me. Mm-hmm. But it didn't hook me in like oh my God, I love this show. It hooked me as like, I just want to know what happens.
Yeah.
And then I got to episode 7 of 16 and I'm like, this is fucking weird. I'm lost. And there's like antlers coming out of her neck. Kind of weird. They morphed an antler into her collarbone. It was weird. Okay. I'm not fully committed to this show, but I watch it when I'm bored to try and tighten it up and see if I actually enjoy it or not. It has so much potential.
Yeah.
So much potential to be awesome. And it's got the guy from Narnia, Prince Caspian.
Oh.
That's like a 7.5 right now.
We got to do... I want to talk about the Battlefield trailer.
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah, looks sweet. And huge fan of them incorporating things that the community does. So when they go straight up in the air and then they jump out, shoot the guy, jump back in.
Yeah.
That's a community thing that they did, like in Battlefield, like the
Yeah.
game. And then they're just aware of what their community loves, and they did it, and they're like, all right, that's cool. Never would happen in real life, but
My
that's
thing
cool.
is they just did a run of. I played Battlefield 4 for a little bit.
Which one is that?
It was a more modern style.
But was it military or was it police?
It was military.
Okay.
And then they did.
Is this the one with? Was that the one with like the train?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they did 1 and 5.
Battlefield 1 was World War 1.
Yeah.
5 was World War 2.
Yeah. Okay. Then Call of Duty did World War II okay, we need to get away from
Going backwards.
World War shooters. Okay.
No, never. Those are bomb, and we're playing one that's bomb.
I know, but I'm also like, I've also had enough. Personally, I've also been like, all right, look at every game.
I just want one to be like astounding, and none of them have been astounding.
Every game that came out prior to the World War II, World War I era shooter was like Black Ops 3, where it's like you got a robot and it's gliding and jumping off the wall, and everybody hates it. So we're like, all right, well, fuck that.
Let's go all the way back.
Go all the way back. And now it's like, see,
I just want.
I actually really enjoyed Black Ops 3.
Yeah, you're weird.
Okay,
Black Ops 2 was it?
I really enjoyed Black Ops 3.
Black Ops 2
I
was...
did not like Advanced Warfare. That was too much for me.
Yeah. Black Ops 2 at least was like a combination of we're getting to techie, but we're still...
Which is what I hope that this Battlefield is, because it kind of looks...
It looks... Well, it's 2042, right? So it's
going to be
little
techie,
futuristic, but it still has...
It doesn't seem like it's
stuff.
overdone.
Yeah.
Like the Call of Duties when they did like Advanced Warfare and then Infinite Warfare, where that was way overdone.
Yeah.
And I don't think they are going that route. But they got some small things that I think will make them better than Call of Duty. The hot swapping attachments.
Yeah.
That looks really interesting. Kind of excited.
It'll be
Was
cool.
never... I had Battlefield 1. I got it as a bundle from my Xbox.
I always
and I
liked
played it and I was like,
Battlefield more because I like the more serious shooters. Like, I'm not trying to go into a house and just be like, okay. I like going into, like, when we're playing, we're clearing a house in Enlisted.
Yeah. It's like a legit thing.
Awesome.
That I do have to admit, like that has grown on me. When I first started playing shooters, it was the run and gun Call of Duty style. Then I played Siege,
which has gotten you into the slower side.
It's a very competitive shooter, so it slows you down.
Yeah.
I can't really go back to Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, I'm good at them, but I can't really go back to them because they're so like
we'd have
they're
so
a joke.
We'd have so much fun playing squad.
And then I did Battlefront 2, which is from DICE.
The new Battlefront 2.
Right. So DICE and EA incorporate, Battlefield style gameplay where it's bigger, 80 plus people, So then I started kind of getting into those.
Yeah.
Played Enlisted, which is the same thing. Big group of people.
Yeah, it's 16.
Originally, I was like,
players.
I was like, man, this blows. Like, I don't like these big game modes. But now I'm like, they're kind of fun because it's not all about your KD. Yeah. It's not all about.
Like, I don't give a shit about my KD. I like to know how many people I've killed,
but you're going into it like
we have objectives,
right? And then they upped this Battlefield. They upped it to 120 player lobbies.
Holy shit!
So they're gonna be it's gonna be
huge
pandemonium.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of pumped, and I'm usually not pumped about because it's gonna come out and it's gonna be $65.
Yeah.
So I'm usually not pumped about getting a shooter for full price, but I might. Looks interesting.
Have they announced if they're gonna have a
beta?
Campaign.
Oh, that I don't know. Maybe.
I need a campaign to do.
But yeah, that's their big shtick. That's Battlefield's big shtick. A lot of vehicles, big game modes.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So we'll see.
They make you actually have to work for stuff, which I like.
They don't have to put battle royales in the game because their multiplayer is like a battle royale as it is. Like it's,
survive.
Yeah. Like, no, you don't just get one life, but it's a lot of people. It's a lot of vehicles. It's a lot. It's not just 12 on 12. So I'm curious to see how it is.
It's crazy to see how far we've gotten with video games because it used to be 5v5. Like that was the big thing was like search and destroy 5v5.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I want to play with 60 other people.
Yeah.
More people to kill, more objectives, more reason to play, instead of like kill 4 guys, detonate, I win. Cool. Like that's boring.
Longer games.
I like that. I like we play one game and it's like an hour. Well, it could be 30 minutes to an hour depending on how the game goes.
And my first experience with that was the Battlefield 1 that I got on my Xbox when I got the bundle.
Yeah.
Like these games last 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Like and I'm like, it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like I was all for it. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, my movie, quickly. It's 10 to 8. I don't know when you're going to go.
Soon. Very soon.
Okay. So when the movie first came out, The Nun.
No, fuck that shit, dude.
When that movie first came out, I watched that movie.
Yeah.
Never seeing any of the other Conjuring movies before. So like,
this Are you movie about to say that you're about to talk about the new Conjuring? The Devil Made Me Do It?
No.
Okay.
But I'm like, this movie's fucked. Like, I've seen
like
a lot
weird
of
fucked or
no, like scary.
Oh.
Like I've seen a lot of like horror movies,
mm-hmm.
and The Nun was fucked. Like that movie was fucking scary, and I'm usually not like.
Is it like jump scary or
no? Like it's fucking like it looks scary. Like the fucking.
Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
So
scary stuff's dumb.
Never seen any of the Conjuring movies, whatever. So my new venture is, I noticed Netflix put the Conjuring 1 and 2 on. So I was like, all right, we're going to send it. We're going to watch the whole series. We're going to watch The Conjuring. We're going to watch Annabelle. We're going to do it. I've seen the first Conjuring and Annabelle. The first Annabelle.
Yeah.
And I've seen part of the second Conjuring. These movies are fucked up, dude. Like, they are not your traditional nothing happens, you hear footsteps, and then
jump scare.
Yeah. This is not them. These movies are fucked up. Like,
yeah,
they're legit. They are. You want to talk about like legitimate horror movies? These are legitimate horror movies. There's a story, which is baffling to me, because every horror movie I've seen has had no plot whatsoever.
Stupid.
And it's just.
Why are you watching these movies?
It's
these movies
full
are hot
of
shit.
It's full of just. You hear footsteps, creaking door.
Why are you trying to fuck with the paranormal, man?
And then loud noise, and then nothing happens.
Yeah.
These movies are based on, quote unquote, true stories.
Which have been debunked. All of them have been debunked. I read an article 2 days ago saying that.
Did you really?
This girl lied about being haunted. This other girl lied about killing someone or whatever.
I don't believe in the true story bullshit anyway, but
like they make movies out of them because they can have fun, like and expand on what actually happened. Like I'm sure, like certain parts of it were like I heard weird noises. Because I'm not gonna say ghosts aren't real, because they're gonna fuck me up if I say they're not real.
Right.
I'm not trying to get fought by a ghost. I can't kill it.
Right.
What the fuck you mean? but there's so much added play to these movies just to be like.
It's just good.
Gotcha.
Like it's just so good because like the first Conjuring was okay. Like they build suspense.
I love that they use the same actors though. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
it's awesome to me actually.
They build suspense. Like they made a universe out of it, and they were very smart about it. It's not hack and slashy. It's not super gory. Yeah. It's not insanely grotesque. They do a very good job at building suspense, and then they live up to the suspense. They don't just suspense and nothing. They suspense and then they fuck you up with like a, so like there was a scene in the first Annabelle movie, if anybody's seen it, where they showed the demon that possesses the doll or that haunts the doll. Yeah. Like it was she was up at the top of a stairwell and it was sitting like on, and it was like all like, and it wasn't moving. Suspense, and then boom, it like popped in your face, and like it was kind of jump scary, but like you saw it. And it fucking was creepy.
That's how it was. Where you saw the fucking clown.
Yeah, like that shit was creepy.
Yeah.
And I haven't finished The Conjuring 2, but The Conjuring 2 is fucking me up, dude. Like that movie is, because that's the first time in the universe of all these movies, the first time you see the demon Valak, which is the nun.
Yeah.
Is in The Conjuring 2. She haunts the Warrens, or Valak haunts the Warrens. And then they did their own spinoff of how like Valak came to be, and
right.
So, but out of like Valak's, like the way they portrayed Valak because in religious culture, Valak is actually a demon. So the way that they did it in the movies is slightly different than how he actually is portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they did it in the movies was very good. And it might be one of the creepiest looking like horror movie creatures that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I give I haven't finished the series yet, so I can't say, but the first movie was a 8. Annabelle was an 8-2. And I haven't finished Conjuring 2, but so far it's like an 8-1.
Okay, so you're like sitting around 8.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through them because I got the new movie came out. I want to watch that, and so it's living up to their success.
Good.
So,
all right. Well, we have a stream to get to. Get your tags. I was about to raise it up like you can see it, but you can't. Tags are still available. Keep supporting us. You're the best. We appreciate everything you guys do for us. Hopefully, you guys liked the workup more than you like. It's gonna be. I think it's more enjoyable. We can talk about anything we want to talk about now.
Worked up presented by HWR Racing.
Yeah. We love you all. Thanks for listening. And so keep supporting your boys and what we do. 'Cause we're stupid. Goodbye.